Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 GMO suggested combinations run, where I'm taking two classes suggested by you, the viewers, and running them through Danger 5. So come up with your worst or best combos and leave them in the comments, and maybe we'll give them a try. Today we're doing one that's been suggested a lot. In fact, there's someone who's on something like day 8 of suggesting this combination. I don't promise to do a combo every time someone repeatedly requests it in the comments, but I do admire persistence, so definitely, keep at it and we'll see if we do it. Today, we're doing the Old, which gets a smaller map size and increased harvesting, slower enemies, and the Renegade to just fill that entire small map with bullets. The idea here, I think, is that we're just going to absolutely cover this arena in projectiles, just completely destroying every enemy that enters the field because of how many shots we'll be making. To do that, I kind of want to go with wrenches, but unfortunately the Renegade can't find wrenches in the shop. It would be great if we could use engineering stuff. I could aggressively roll for the actual turret items, and probably will, but I think that what we're going to want to use in order to maximize this combination is... There's honestly a lot of different options here, but I think we're just going to go with the old standby for the Renegade of submachine guns, because this just makes the most possible projectiles, and I think that's funny. Have to walk towards the enemies to make sure that we're hitting them with all of the projectiles. Of course, we have decreased accuracy on the Renegade, so we're less likely to hit our attacks. As I mentioned in my previous video, I am recording this on a new microphone. Still definitely working out the proper sound settings and equalization settings, and I am not by any means an audio guy, so I'm sort of learning this from first principles. So definitely do let me know how the sound is working for you and whether you think there are changes that I should be making to the audio setup. All right, let's pick up the harvesting here, because we can get to 21 much quicker that way, and then we'll take the SMG. These are both good items. We do want to buy every unique level 1 item that we see, because we're the Renegade, so we get more damage. I'm going to lock the Lemonade, but not the Injection, I think, because we can probably do better than Injection. It's a decent item, we'd grab it, it increases our damage a little bit, but and even though the 7% damage is reduced by 80% because of the Renegade, every point of percent damage you pick up on this character with such high negative percent damage is still very valuable, so it's worth buying it even though it's reduced. But I think we could do better. We can find an economy item, maybe. I'll roll here and grab another submachine gun and roll again. Didn't find one this time, but let's roll one more time and we'll pick one up. I'm just going to go for all submachine guns this time. You can usually do shotguns or revolvers in addition to that, but here we're just going to go for submachine guns. Just the most projectiles that we can manage. One thing that does do on the Renegade and on SMG builds in general is make wave 4 pretty difficult, because the floater enemies spawn the projectiles whenever they're hit by a shot. So when you're firing this many low damage shots, you can really get yourself in trouble. I would love to roll for harvesting, but I'm obviously not going to pass up on 10 luck in the early game like this. It increases our abilities so much, and I will take the level 2 speed as well. Speed is very important on the Old because you start with a speed penalty. Let's lock the weird food here and buy an SMG and roll. Roll again. Unfortunately missing a little bit on weapons, but we rolled again. All right, nice. We found 7 total in the first 2 waves, which is great. We'll see how many different items we can find to start actually boosting our damage. Or wave 3 is when the floaters start spawning, excuse me. And then we will need to buy flat ranged damage. Typically on the SMG, the stat that you're looking for the most is just flat ranged damage. Even though it doesn't have 100% scaling, it fires so often that you're just gaining so much value from every point of that you find. We'll take the boiling water here, even though it's not particularly useful for this character, and in fact is a negative, but just because we're the Renegade, so we want every unique level 1 item that we see. So now I have to put my theory to the test. Do I take range damage or do I go for harvesting growth early? I think I will roll for harvesting growth. Unfortunately missed. I'll just take the range damage. We will definitely buy the weapon here. Alien Tongue, another unique and actually pretty good. Pickup range is kind of nice on this small map because we can just cover the whole map in our pickup radius. And then I'll pick up the weird food and roll, lock another SMG. We're guaranteed to see at least one weapon in this reroll, so we were fairly likely to find a leveled up submachine gun there. Tanked that hit, which obviously I shouldn't have. We definitely are going to want some lifesteal, but currently we don't have a lot in the way of HP, so healing doesn't matter that much since we're dead in 2 hits anyways. You can see our bullets are already covering the entire map, which is awesome. Making sure to actually pick up some of these materials as well. Lumberjack shirt, perfect. That's another level 1 item that we don't have, and it's also just good for us because of our very low damage. And then here, I'm going to take the 8 harvesting. 2 range damage would also be excellent, but when you are at 19 harvesting, it's so valuable to start increasing it by multiple per wave that it's just worth buying that. And then I think we can do better than 1% lifesteal here, so I'm going to reroll. Even though we are SMGs that get a little less value out of attack speed, because I already have huge attack speed, I'm still just going to take it. We'll pick up the SMG, the Lemonade, and the Alien Tongue, boosting our percent damage down to -67. And then we will roll. And then all of these are unique. How many of them do I want to lock? I think I will lock the Head Injury and the Hedgehog. Those are both actually fairly decent for us. Mushroom is fine. We would buy it, but I'm not going to lock it. I think we can probably roll into better items. Maximum HP is the next thing on the list. Right now with 15, we're definitely behind. I wouldn't mind increasing my range. I'm about to decrease it with the Head Injury, but more range would mean that we would cover the map even more comprehensively in projectiles. We do have excellent consumable healing, so our healing, even without any actual healing, is still pretty reasonable at this stage. 9% dodge, so I could start building dodge. I think I will. A level 3 upgrade is quite good, so I'm just going to grab it. We could also like try to buy range damage or something like that, roll for luck, but honestly, I'm pretty happy just starting to build dodge. We will eventually want to. I will buy all of these, so let's combine and buy an SMG and then buy these 2 items and then roll. 2 more uniques. I guess I can just buy the Terrified Onion right away. Losing luck this early does hurt, and we don't have a lot of it, but move speed is still very good for this character, and Terrified Onion, again, it's a unique item for us, so we will pick up the Broken Mouth as well. I am going to reroll once here, because the Wave 5 shop, we do still have a single guaranteed weapon, so we can roll into another submachine gun potentially. We missed, but I will lock the Ugly Tooth. It pulls a unique out of the pool, and it's also very good for us. The thing that I'm concerned about, honestly, on this character is just not having the damage or move speed, because on Renegade you do have to buy sort of random items, so it's harder for you to focus on stats that you actually need. And I'm worried about just not having either the damage or defensive stats to kill the elite quickly enough, especially because we do have a difficult pattern with all elites and no horde waves. So Ugly Tooth will help ensure that we can survive the elite. Having to do a lot of dodging just because of the sheer number of projectiles that we're firing into the floaters here. Let me make sure I'm actually picking up some of the materials before the end of the wave. Leather vest, I will still take this. Although our max HP is quite poor, this is just great stats for us. Dynamite we'll take, again, it's just a level 1 item that we don't have. And then I will take 10 luck here. 6 max HP is also great, putting us up to 21. We will buy the Broken Mouth and the Ugly Tooth, up to 54% damage. Charcoal and Claw Tree are both pretty bad. Claw Tree is crit chance and charcoal and percent damage, of course. But I think I'm actually not going to buy these two. They're just too marginal of an actual effect from the item. So we're just going to try to roll into items that we care about more. Buy the submachine gun. I'm going to roll past the missile here and try to find other items that we actually want. Pumpkin is good. We have piercing damage reduction, so that's going to be very good for us. Although I can't remember if the percent piercing damage suffers from the Renegade damage reduction. Some of these do. Piercing damage and damage against bosses do, and some don't. I am going to buy it out of science, but I think we might just get like 3% damage there. I guess we'll find out. And I'm buying Alien Worm because we need max HP and we need damage. So I'm curious about how the pumpkin is going to work for us. I'm just going to clear the eggs, both because it's very hard for us not to, and also because our individual, like our single target DPS is very low. I just want to make sure that we are clearing the map as much as possible. Obviously, I stood right on that slash for no reason. We were slowly whittling down that big slasher, but then it got healed by the healer, so it took us longer to kill it. Making okay money at this stage, but we could definitely be doing better. I'm going to take the luck here. I could take percent damage as well, or roll for flat range damage, but luck is still very good at this point. Okay, so let me take a look here. We've got percent piercing damage of 0%. Okay, so it's not affected by the Renegade's modification. Some of these stats are and some are not. Explosion damage is, because we have only 2% from our dynamite, so which of these are and which aren't is always something that I forget. I will take the SMG. I'm not going to take Scared Sausage. We are never going to build... Actually, maybe we will build enough elemental damage for this to be helpful. And it kind of adds 1 damage to all of our attacks. So I'm going to buy it just because it's a unique item. And then roll again. We don't want another alien tongue. I don't want a peaceful bee because we only have 2 ranged damage. So even though we do want these stats, I'm not going to buy peaceful bee. I don't want to reduce my lifesteal, so we're going to pass on the banner as well, and then roll. Take out, I will lock. This is great for us. But honestly, that shop was not very good for me. Really hoping to roll into lens, small magazine, anything along those lines that can just increase our damage. Those are the items that we're looking for. Also, something that gives lifesteal would be very nice, especially if I just walk into enemies like that, like a moron. So I'm getting very little damage from the Scared Sausage, but it's doing like 3 or 4 damage to every enemy on the field, which isn't horrible. It's not a significant component of our wave clear, but given that it's also increasing my percentage damage, I don't hate having bought it. Trying to clear all these enemies out of the center here. Candle, we're definitely recycling. Terrified Onion. I guess I will take this because my move speed is negative, so I do want to increase it. And yeah, I'll keep taking level 3 luck when we see it. I will upgrade my submachine gun, buy the takeout, and then roll, buy another submachine gun and a shady potion. And then for 16, I'm not going to try to lock an item here, but the level 3 SMG is pretty nice because it shoots for 3 instead of 2, so that's a pretty big deal. Our ranged damage is really what I'm most concerned about at this point, our flat range damage. This at least should be a pretty good wave for us. We have a lot of bullets, so we should be able to clear wave 9 pretty easily. Still not finding just like the core items for ranged builds though. Lens, small magazine. anything that actually just gives me a little bit of damage. Of course, gentle alien, mouse, bag, all of those like really high tier items would be really good for us. Blood leech, yeah, I will take this. Our harvesting is low, but I do really need to build some healing, so I'm going to take that. And I will take the gambling token. We have 13% dodge already, so although our armor is pretty weak, I actually do want to build towards dodge cap. And then Razor Blade, excellent find here. Crit chance isn't amazing for SMGs because they only crit for 1.5 times, but they crit really frequently because they attack really frequently. So crit chance is still a decent damage increase, but more importantly, 4% lifesteal is just great. Then I will take the max HP, I think, over the damage, because this is like 2% damage. So we're just going to grab that. I could pick up 45 range, but we already have plus 42. So I think I'm going to roll for stats we actually want more, which in this case is maximum HP. That's perfect. Fairy, it is the Renegade's unique item, and that will solve our regeneration problems. So I am going to buy the Fairy and the takeout here. Weird food, do I want another one? I think I do. Little muscly dude. We're now at 48 HP, so I think I can actually pass on that. Crown is pretty nice for this character if we get a little more harvesting, and it's very early. I don't know if the crown is going to pay off, but I'm going to speculate on buying the crown, and I will also lock Pocket Factory because we have a lumberjack shirt, and even though we aren't building any engineering, we'll pick up a little bit incidentally just from buying random items for the Renegade, and the tripled shots on Pocket Factory mean it still does great damage even if you aren't building for it at all on the Renegade. So it'll be very helpful for wave clear, regardless of being relatively, being something that we're not actually building for. So now I do want something that increases my harvesting just a little so the crown can start working overtime for us. Anything that boosts our harvesting, like a blood donation, would be kind of ideal here. Starting to struggle a little with wave clear because we just have not found much ranged damage at all. But at least our even 6% lifesteal is plenty to keep me alive. I also used a lot of damage killing that loot alien. Oh, maybe it's not plenty to keep me alive if I walk into every enemy. That was pretty bad. Triangle of Power I'm going to recycle because I think we will heavily prioritize buying Bloody Hand or Blood Donation. And we're likely to tank some damage here, so we're just going to pass on that. Peacock we cannot afford to take because we're going into an elite wave, but I will take 12 maximum HP. Here I will pick up the submachine gun and the Pocket Factory and the Clover. I think we're not going to kill the elite. There's just no chance. But I will lock the submachine gun. Weird Ghost I really do want because it's another unique level 1 item with 14 regeneration but only 4 lifesteal because we reduced it with Clover. I am not convinced that we can buy it going into an elite wave. But I think it's still probably fine. We're not going to try to kill the elite, so I think we should be okay. Obviously, if I just walk into the elite and dive, then I'll feel silly there, but Weird Ghost, I think, should be fine against most elites. This one is one of the more difficult ones if you're not able to kill it, because it just constantly follows you around. We do get a bunch of turrets here, which is nice. Those takeouts that we got are being really good because we're able to stay outside of the move past the rings of the elites here. Those floaters are really putting a lot of pressure on me, though. As you can see, there are so many projectiles on the field. It's really hard not to tank damage. Honestly, this has been a more difficult run than I expected it to be, just because of the small map and the low damage that we've ended up with. I'm gonna roll here, I think. I could also just take 10 harvesting, but I think I'm gonna roll because I need ranged damage. Yeah, so we finally found some ranged damage and can start actually attempting to kill stuff in future. Let's buy this. Do I have a head injury already? I do, so I'm gonna pass on that. I think I will pass on the glass cannon as well. Night goggles. The crit chance is good, the range is good. I will take those and lock the beanie here. Yeah, 3 ranged damage has helped a lot, as you can see. We just needed, like, any flat damage to have my wave clear catch up. And it's possible I should have rolled more aggressively for it in some of those level ups, but I didn't really expect that we would find none, especially because we're the Renegade, so we're tagged to find it in the shop. So I was kind of just trusting the game to give me some ranged damage, and it didn't come through, but we made it. Loot alien taking 1,000,000 damage before it dies. This build is also missing some of the key economy items that you would usually look for, like bag or fertilizer, anything along those lines. So it's come online a little slower than many of these builds do, but it's starting to get there now. I'll take the fertilizer, of course. Alien eyes, we actually have decent max HP, so I think I will take that and then roll here. I'm rolling for damage or possibly dodge. Although I guess I'll just take 9 max HP when I see that. Here I will take the beanie and the leather vest and then roll. Power generator, we actually have 18% speed, so this is not going to be a ton of additional damage, but it's still some, and I will pick it up. Boxing glove I'm going to lock because it's a level 1 item we don't have yet, and I need to start really aggressively prioritizing that. Sure love when Windows Update pops up a notification right over the next wave button, and then I click it. Look how many shots there are on the field because of the floaters here. Trying to stay next to the loot alien so we can take that out. No, the last one survived. I'm going to recycle the white flag, but I will buy the snail. Slower enemies is great. And small magazine, this is the perfect item for this character. Exactly what we've been looking for this whole time. More flat range damage is excellent. Do I want more piercing? Lens, of course, is an ideal pick for us as well. Do I want more piercing from the bandana? I honestly don't think we need to double pierce enemies, so I'm going to pass on that, but I'll take boxing glove and insanity and roll. Mouse, small magazine. Which of these would I rather have going into the elite fight? Because I can only have one of them. With only 4% lifesteal, I am a little worried about my regeneration, but I think if I take small magazine, I can actually just kill the elite, so I'm going to buy that and give that a shot. And then with 25, I'm going to reroll because I bet we can lock something good. Do I want to increase my move speed? I think I do, and then I will lock these 2 items. Recycling machine should still have time to pay for itself. All right, we're not dealing as much damage as quickly as I was expecting, but I think we're gonna have enough DPS to take out the elite, provided that I don't tank 1,000,000 damage and have to run away from it. Of course, it's hard to focus on elites on the Renegade because of the accuracy penalty that you have, especially with submachine guns where the deviation is even higher. I also want to try to be next to it. Yeah, there you can see we did a huge amount of burst damage to it because the alien eyes went off right under it, so multiple of them hit it. And when you do that, you do a huge amount of burst damage. So alien eyes is really good for helping kill elites like that. In particular, it's good against the bosses, because you can, by that point, you should have enough defensive stats that you can stand inside them, guaranteeing that you hit with all of your alien eyes projectiles. To say we're not making much money, though. I will take the elusive ghost here. This item, I think, is broken in the sense that it does not work as intended, but it is very funny, so I'm going to pick it up. And now we have 66% lifesteal. Okay, maybe I should ban this one, actually, too. I thought... I didn't realize it would give me 60% lifesteal right away. I'll take 2 armor here, because we do need a little bit more in the way of defensive stats. Take mouse, recycling machine, and metal, and roll. Butterfly we don't have yet, and that's some more lifesteal for us. Not that we need more now. I'm still thinking we need lifesteal, but of course this elusive ghost, which doesn't quite function as intended, I think, by the developer, is giving us more lifesteal than we know what to do with. So similar to marksmanship and gold-plated teeth, I think the elusive ghost, because of the bug with how it functions, is one that I should probably just ban. Make sure we're killing that loot alien. Ooh, and another box from just a random guy. If we had a tree, then we'd be getting more value out of this pocket factory, but as is, it's still doing decent work for us. Yeah, I'll take another takeout. Magic barrier, we're going to recycle. Obviously, we don't want to lose all these stats. And 3 range damage is perfect. Alien worm we've already got, but I do have 4 consumable heal, so maybe I should pick it up anyways. I think I can pass on that. We'll take the butterfly. I will take the lost duck, and I'll take the glasses. That's 2 more items we don't have yet. Roll again. Whetstone for more lifesteal we don't really need, because our lifesteal is absurd right now. Cyclops worm is still fairly efficient, even when it's only worth 2% damage for this build, just because we're at negative damage here. And alien magic I will probably still take for the 8 maximum HP. Actually, I think we can pass on that. We've got plenty of max HP. I'm going to roll to see if we can get just more damage. Explosion size I don't care about, though I will buy the submachine gun, and we'll lock the silver bullet. Then I'll check if the silver bullet damage is reduced by Renegade as well, or if it's just explosive damage. Starting to deal respectable DPS at this point. Still not very quick at killing high health enemies, but we're getting better at clearing the waves anyways. It is too bad that you can't use engineering weapons with Renegade easily, because this would be such a sick engineering combination with the small map and the all the turrets on it and the extra projectiles from them. I will take this turret though, that's great. And then here I'm gonna re-roll. I think we can pick up some flat range damage, which is what I was hoping for. Silver bullet lemonade. We've got 4 consumable healing, so I think I can actually pass on that at this point. Mushroom is a unique one that we don't have, so I'll pick that up. And I'll buy the wings here. It's worth a little bit of percent damage thanks to our power generator. And increasing our range and speed is also very good. We do lose elemental damage for our scared sausage, but that's not something I'm hugely concerned about. And then at this point, we've got 18 range damage, so I will actually buy Peaceful Bee. It's worth some percentage damage for us, and the dodge is going to be very helpful to getting us to dodge cap. We're already at 40%, so we should be able to hit cap by the end of the run. I guess I bought the boxing glove and not the whetstone, so we are actually pushing enemies back, which is pretty funny when we have this like fire hose of bullets. Because they just get constantly knocked back. Gotta make sure to clear the buffing aliens, because again, our single target damage is fairly low, so we actually really need to make certain we're killing the enemies that that increase enemy health. Jeff's Shades, we take 1 damage per second, but gain attack speed. That's gotta be worth it here. My move speed capped at 40, I don't care about, but do I actually want those stats? Not particularly. I'll take the tree. I don't think we want... I don't think we care that much about Banner, because increasing the attack speed of SMGs is just not that important. Defective Steroids. Bat, I don't have yet, right? Unfortunately, when you're playing GMO, it doesn't include the little icon that you normally get when you're playing Renegade to tell you whether you have an item or not. But Bat, I don't have, so that puts me to 13%. Fertilizer, it's for 63, it's too late even with Crown, and Defective Steroids we already have. CRISPR would reduce my damage significantly, so we're gonna roll past that. Dusty Fedora does increase the map size, but is just such a fun item. I'm always gonna pick up Dusty Fedora. And then I will lock the Wheat for the 2 range damage as well. So I guess now we're back on a normal sized map. But I just love this item so much. It's just worth so much luck. Trying to focus down this elite as much as I can with my weapons and my alien eyes. There's another tree destroyed, so we've got a decent number of turrets now, starting to spring up across the map. Goat Skull, we do lose 2 crit chance, but we don't have a Goat Skull yet. Baby Elephant we don't have yet. Practical Research, unfortunately, not a very good item for us, so I'm going to recycle it. Here I'll just take the 15% attack speed. We will buy the Wheat and roll. Baby Gecko we don't have. Gambling Token to get to dodge cap sooner. I'll roll again. Warrior Helmet, that's great. We actually really need armor, so I'm gonna buy the Warrior Helmet, but I will re-roll to pick up a weapon or any other high tier item for us, in this case a submachine gun. Basically just want to hit dodge cap and increase my damage and armor a little bit. Warrior Helmet giving us health and armor is perfect. Those are the only... That and 7% more dodge are the only stats we need in order to be very comfortable going into this elite fight. One thing that's interesting about this combo is that the Renegade normally has to buy a lot of items. It suffers economically because you have to buy items that you normally wouldn't want. And the old also has an economy penalty just because there's so many fewer enemies on the field. So this is an interesting combo because we had to play pretty lean for the early waves. We just did not have much in the way of income. Only in like this wave have we started actually building income. Snake, yep, that's worth % damage. And then I think I'll just take the 12% because I think we can hit 0%, which would be kind of fun. Take the warrior helmet. Boiling water, we've already got one, right? Yeah, so I'll roll past that. Rocket launcher is a good way to deal a bunch of extra damage, plus it does the ideal amount of damage, so I'm going to pick up the rocket launcher. The triple rockets are just so much fun with Renegade. And then I can't afford both SMG and Gummy Berserker, so which is actually better for us? I think that the... this is actually interesting. I think the SMG is going to be better for killing the bosses than the Gummy Berserker would be. And then we roll, and unfortunately find a bunch of more items that we want, but we're on to wave 20. And then I want to get close to these enemies and ideally overlap them with other things so that the piercing shots and the rocket launcher can be most effective. That's the first elite down, or first boss down, and the second one follows shortly after. All right, that was a pretty fun one. The Dusty Fedora only gave me like 30 luck, but still, I just like that item so much that I'm always gonna buy it, even when it's not very good. Overall, this was an interesting run. It was harder in the mid game than I expected, though I did buy some fairly dubious items, and we just struggled to find ranged damage as a result. I could have rolled more aggressively for that. But we ended up with a pretty powerful build, and our economy started taking off thanks to the crown. Crown gave us 64 stats, so it was worth it. It wasn't an incredible bonus, but it was pretty nice in terms of income. And everything else here, we missed on bag, we missed on coupon, you know, we missed on a lot of the normal economy items, but we ended up with a decent amount of damage. Didn't quite hit 0% damage, but got close, which is all you really need to do on Renegade, just making sure that you're not taking huge penalties. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this video with the old and the Renegade, and of course if you have, feel free to leave a comment and like the video, and leave me a suggestion for the next combo that you want to see me play. Of course, you can always subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy games, and I will catch you next time. Cheers, my friends. GG.